to continue on with going over the colors, and there's 20 that we're gonna look at, and I'm gonna go over the first 7, and then Giovanni's gonna show you what those colors look like in terms of some of the mixes that he likes. Then I'll do the next 5, and Sabina will show you what she's done. They'll do the next 5 or 6, and it'll be Gabriel, and then if we have time left, it'll be all of the brand ambassadors and et cetera who might be using the colors as well. And then we'll flip next time. A different brand ambassador will show you their mixes. So I'm going to somebody might have their
Yeah, I have it. It's off now.
Okay. So I'm going to share screen.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
So you disable, yeah.
Okay, enabled now.
Okay. And let's do it. Okay. All right, so if you go into, as we did last time, into community, and then weekly live demos, you can go to John's resources right there. And it shows you the CIE Lab, which we're going to be looking at today. There's been modifications. Anna Marie asked for some modifications. Some of you asked for modifications, so I'm going to go over those new ones with you today. We're going to go over the pigment list right here. I've modified that for the next 20 we're going to be looking at. And then we're just going to be following the color brochure. So let me see. So the color brochure, you can just come to this page. You just choose color brochure, and you can look at all the colors. And if you want, you can come right here where it says download PDF right here. And you can download all the pages or any of the pages. And if you download the page, it'll look like that. So each page is just 8.5 by 11. And you can either, make 3 holes in them or tape them, whatever you want to do, but it's easy to follow along. So we are starting right here today, right here. Right here, we're going to be doing these today. Okay, so you can follow along. We're going to end up going through Mayan Red. So we're going to stop right here at Mayan Red. And next week, we will start at alizarin crimson right here, coal tar derivative right there. All right. So what you're looking at when you look at this chart, of course, is the big fat number up here at the top is the series number. That's how they're sold. Series 1 is less than a series 2 is less than a series 3. Except in sticks where there are no series. They do consist of series 1, 2, 3, and 4. So they're a phenomenal deal. You can also read the legend and know about the characteristics right here. Light fastness, whether they stain, opacity, and granulating. And you can see that. Whoops. See that right here. So there's your legend right there. You can always come to that before we start, so you know exactly where we're at. Okay. So I picked out the first 20 colors. So let's go to CIE Lab. And I did kind of move this thing. Yeah. Okay, so this is the way. This is the new, most updated C Lab. And the neat thing here, so one update was asked by Anna Marie, and that is it goes from white. If you want to see it in white, you can see it, your selection's in white. You can see them in black if you want to see them in black. And now you can see them in gray. So you can see them in white, black, or gray, whatever you prefer. Okay. And then if you want to go into more specific, you can come into filters. And the filters, you can either search for any color. For example, let's search for quins. There's all the quinacridones. So everything goes away now except what you're trying to search for. So there's all the quinacridones. This is the brightness, because as you remember, the C Lab it's the X coordinate here, it's the Y coordinate here, and it's also the brightness feature. L is for lightness or brightness. So if you switch this, you're just going to keep whatever, so anything that's 27 to 100 you would see. And because I know this one is quite bright, if I bring this down from 100, say I bring it to 50, which is about right up in here for lightness. It's right up in here. If I bring this down, this one should go away, and these should all go away. Watch. See as they go away? So just so you know, this is a brightness indicator. It doesn't mean as you go back and forth, you lighten the color. It means you're restricting what you're seeing by the L or lightness value. If I wanted something that was a very, very bright color, and I say I want to see everything, up to 100, and maybe because I know 50 is kind of in here in the blacks and the grays, anything above, say 50, I wouldn't see any blacks or, well, let's see, say I said 68. I definitely wouldn't see any blacks or grays. All right, so I rename that so you can understand it. So just remember that is for the L value or for lightness value. So let's clear those filters and come back one more time. Clear filters. Okay. So you had asked last time, we talked about, can we get different quadrants? So here is the warmest quadrant. If I click on this, I only see the warmest colors, which means I'm going to see colors in here. So let's do that. And there we go. Those are the warmest colors. And you can do these in combination. I can say, what are the warmest colors that are transparent? I just click on transparent. So those are the warmest colors that are transparent. What are the warmest colors that are transparent and low staining? Those. So you can play with it any way you want to get any type of result you want to see. Okay?
John, I think this is so incredibly helpful, especially for me when I teach a lot about temperature. And so many people have really problems with finding out which is cool and what is warm. And this is incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome, Stella. Thank you. And so you had also asked about, so it'll do the same thing for warm. There's the warm. It will do the same thing for the coolest. I'll take off the warm. There's the coolest. And then this is going to be the cool down here. And there's the cool. So it allows you really quickly to find out which colors you're looking at. And then you had also asked in families, right here, families. Yeah, families. So in families, I had the quinacridones. So you can easily just see where the quinacridones are because those are really super popular. You can see where the pyrroles are if you want to see the pyrroles. If you're interested in the primitex, for example, you can just say, I just want to see the primitex, and there's all the primitex. Okay. And again, you can play with these. You say, I want to see Primitex that are opaque. And there are no Primitex that are opaque. You can see, I want to see. Let's see. Yeah. So when you're picking the family, you pick the family, then you can pick the characteristics of the family. And then you had also asked about, so cool, let's see, nachrodomes, turquoise. You had also asked about single pigments. And so you can go to single pigment right here. Pick this one right here, single pigment. And you can choose any single pigment you want to see, and it'll show you that single pigment, and it'll show you as many as you want to see. I'm also having it where it's going to be added up here into families, just one thing, single pigment, and you just click on that and it'll show you all the single pigments. So you won't have to go and click on every single one if you want to see everyone. But I wanted to make sure if it was important for you to see a particular color, that you had the ability right here to pick any of them you wanted to see. And then again, you can further divide them by saying, I want single pigments that are granulating. And then you would see those, and you can choose those here. You could choose them. I don't want to get rid of what I just want to make sure I'm not going to override the 20 we're going to look at today. It took me a while to put them on there. Okay. What else did I want to show you? Did anybody have any questions on this? Your questions were fantastic. So they have now been added into this. Okay. And we'll leave this for a second. You can.
Someone is asking about the link. Someone came late and is asking the link. Will you put it, please? The link?
Sure.
Yeah, the link is super easy to find.
I'll put
the
it
link
in
right
the
here.
chat, John.
Oh, thank you, Ethel.
Thank
For
you,
those that
Ethel.
you see, you just go to community, go to weekly live demos, John's resources, and it takes you to this page. You can find other places. I just wanted to make sure as we were talking, it'd be really super fast for you to find this. So that's how come we put this together. Okay, go back to where I was. Okay, so we can change the background. We can spin it. You can stop the rotation just by clicking on this, stops rotation. So just kind of a way, yes.
Excuse me, John. I'm asking if you have the 3D model here, can you see or can you show the warm side and the cold side 3D?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think, no, I don't think so.
Yes.
But I don't think so, because let me see. Maybe, let's see. We'll learn together.
Yes.
The answer is yes. So there's the coolest. There's the warmest. And
Wow.
again, you can start the rotation to kind of see where they're at.
That's so amazing.
Yep.
It's wonderfully amazing. I'm trying to figure out where one would use the information gleaned in the 3D model.
Yeah, you know, that's a really good question. And it's the 3D model just shows you the X, Y, and Z axis, because most people, when they look at something, it's neat for you as artists because you see things in, you paint in 2 dimensions, but you think in 3 dimensions. And when people look at a flat, most people, when they look at a flat color chart, they think it's, well, it's just flat. But no, it really has a Z axis. It really does have depth to it. And that's kind of where what this is trying to show. I don't know if I'd spend a lot of, I think for some of you, it could have meaning.
Gabriel?
So you can use the two, you can actually use the two,
Bonnie?
you can actually use the two-dimensional if you wanted to try to get to a color. You know, if I wanted to get from here, if that's better. If I wanted to get from here to here, you know, it's gonna show you, this is gonna be your red, green, blue, yellow, what you would have to do to try to move from here to here. But that's just mixing that you're probably learning with another, or have learned from another artist or yourself. I don't know, I was asked by that. Some people wanted to see it in 3 dimensions. So I just wanted to make sure you could see it in 3 dimensions if you were so inclined. But it's interesting. Thank you for bringing that up, in that you can actually apply all the filters to it. You can say, I just want to see reds. Or I wanted to see the opaques.
It's okay.
John, I have a question.
Yeah.
If you were to lay this out flat, what kind of coordinates, like if you were to lay this out and graph it, what kind of coordinates would you need? What are your highest and lowest numbers on your graph?
So where you would go, I give that to you in an Excel spreadsheet, ABC. Trying to see which spreadsheet I give that to you. It's on here. It's one of the tools. I'll add it to John's page. Let me come back to this. You would need roughly, if you did up to, so and here Hansiel is telling you what it is. The L value, or the light value, is 88. So it's a very bright. The brightness only goes to 100. So it's a very bright color. It's saying for the A, which is the same thing as the X, it's right here. It's at 3.19, so it's right here. And it goes up to 99, which is right here, and that's Hansa yellow. So if you did 100, if you went from 0 to 100 on both the X and the Y coordinates, you'd graph all of them. And that's what this is doing right here. No, it's in 5 unit increments going this way, and 5 unit increments going this way. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, is there any way that this chart can be printed out? I think there's some of us that would be
You know,
willing
you
to
asked that
practice
last
this.
time, and it's a super good question, and I posed that to the programmers who are trying to figure out how they would do that, because it's a really good question.
You know what I'd love to see? You know how the world map is round?
Yeah,
I'd love to see this put on a sphere, and then you flatten it out into a map.
Actually, you do have it on the sphere, the colors, but not so. Oh my gosh, that will be amazing.
It's a world of color. The world of color, so why can't it be done?
I think just about everything can be done.
Those poor programmers.
I know, we're working.
Yeah, you know,
We're
They are
working
amazing.
I think it helps them. They probably think out of their comfort zone. They go, oh, no,
Exactly.
nobody would ever ask that. And it's like they get
Exactly.
to play with it too. But I will again write that down as well.
We're just
Then
keeping
you
them
can
on their toes.
make the physical globe with all the colors. So
Oh, that'd be nice.
to get it in the
World-
studio.
So that was most of the things that we talked about. Again, I kind of like this one that Anna asked for, which is the gray. She asked for a neutral. So we do it by families. Now there's the cool, the warm, the warmest, and the coolest. You can look by major families, and you can do single pigments. The single pigment, again, I will add the single pigment as looking at all of them. It'll be under family, it'll say single pigment. And when you click that, it'll show you all, or you can do it one by choosing them here. And then the dot cards were done. These are all the dot cards. So let's look at, and the neat thing is we have several brand ambassadors with dot cards with us today. So we have,
Sorry, Anna asked if you could make the spinning model into a screensaver. And I'm curious about that too.
Wow.
I couldn't
Sorry,
say-
hi, John. I'm being very.
Well, I'm curious about that too.
We don't want too much, do we?
I know. I was
Sounds like
just
a
thinking.
wonderland for everybody now.
I have
It would
no
be very
issue with that.
cool.
We were just spinning it around, and I just thought of a screensaver. It looked so cool. I love it. It's
If
super.
you want to go one step further, you actually have this in 3D. If you take
Yes.
the image of the gray screen and take one image of it and rotate the image 10 degrees one way or the other and make another image of it, then
Oh.
you put the two images up side by side, cross your eyes so that you the left image with your right eye and the right image with your left eye, and you'll see
Everything
in three
can be
dimensions.
done.
Oh,
That's
I
the
like
way
that.
we do 3D rotational angiography. And
I love it.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I
It
would need,
reminds me of
I would need
the.
two
That's a
monitors.
good one. John,
It
just
reminds me
ask
of
us
those
questions.
magic.
John, don't
I'll
ask
put
us these questions. You
So
got all
this
these
is
creative artists asking you these questions.
this is Stella's dot card right here. That's Stella's dot card.
Oh, wow. You
Oh,
can do the dot cards
awesome.
as well. My
All
God.
over the
Nice,
place.
Stella.
Thank
We can
you.
see,
Oh, wow, that's Stella's card.
Gabriel's dot card. There's Gabriel's dot card.
Wow,
Wow.
okay.
And
That is so
you
cool.
can look at Angela's dot card right there.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow. Angela, wow.
Mamma mia.
Mama
Wow.
Mia.
You're a wizard.
I know,
You're a
right?
wizard.
The
So
Wizard of
look at
John.
everybody's dot card.
Yeah.
So is there a name one? You could just click on the
Yeah,
ambassador's
you just go under the dot right here under dot card choop,
Uh-huh.
and choose anybody's that you want to see.
Oh, okay.
I think you can apply the same thing. You can go to dot card. Let's see. You should be able to go to dot card. We'll go to Angela.
Mhm.
Angela. And
Wow.
here's Angela. And we'll say, show us all of Angela's warmest colors. There they are.
Wow.
Show me,
John.
show me
Oh.
Angela's blue colors. Does Angela have blue? She does.
Oh. Oh, my goodness. This is so awesome.
Yay.
And
Woohoo.
then
Okay,
show me
where's
which
Giovanni's
ones
dot
are-
card?
I'm sorry, this is Angela's dot
That's
card right
mine.
here.
That's Angela's.
oh, that's-
Yeah,
okay.
Angela.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many
you can
reds
choose-
do I have? How many reds do I have?
Angela.
You can never have too many reds, Angela.
Angela. Red.
Can you put in
It's
there,
green.
show me
Oh,
the money?
only.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
What, Gabriel?
Oh, yeah, Gabriel
In
now.
there, show me the money.
Show me the money.
And Gabriel's are right there.
Wow, Gabriel.
Wow.
Wow.
Very
Cool.
interesting dot card you have.
John, a few minutes ago, you had an Excel file up. Where is that one? You had
So
all the
that one's
information in
the-
it.
Resources.
So that one is in the same place. It's
John's
moved that
references.
John's
right here. Easy way is, I'm gonna make it really easy. Just go into community, lively weekly demos, John's resources, and it's right here.
Okay.
It's not gonna have,
So-
it's not gonna have, for example, what I wanted to show you today, which is this right here. Let me move this. So what I'm gonna do and I'll ask this to be posted. This is what we went over last week. This is what we're gonna go over today. And it'll tell you the special characteristics. So these are the special characteristics. There we go. These are the special characteristics, and these are what I showed last week, where you can see the color itself. You can see the color itself, and here's the story. For example, Power Orange, unforgettable, semi-transparent, semi-opaque orange, smooth, saturated, and pure addition to watercolors palette. Capture glory of a summer garden or the magic of a tropical sunset with a dynamic and versatile hue. This is from my chemist, Ron.
Favorite.
This is a mid-tone orange, very strong and very semi-opaque. So what I plan to do is every time we go over, I'll add to the Ron, who's my chemist, senior chemist. I'll add his story, also the link that you can just click on to read more of the story and see the drawdowns.
Can you show Giovanni's dot card on the graph, the C Lab before you go?
You can
Oh,
see you can actually see back to here, back to here.
Geo's.
You can see them in the color stories,
Hmm.
or you can execute them from the C Lab as well. Yes. So here's the C Lab, and these are all the colors we were going to look at today.
Okay.
Pyro orange, the permanent orange, CAD hue. So if you wanted, you could put up to 20 at a time. You just choose the colors you want, say compare, and you can look at all of them. And it'll show you, you can see whatever nuances you want to see. You can see the name, you can see the pigment. So this is pigment orange number 73. The series number, which you probably don't need. I could probably remove the series number. It's a medium staining, non-granulating, semi-transparent, excellent light fastness. It has no complement. A complement is when you go across the quadrant on the C Lab and you're within 2 units. Then it's a true complement. It's a true mathematical.
There is a suggestion from Facebook from Christine Clark. Given the questions, maybe you have a programmer with you when you demo this.
You'll give him gray hair.
We don't want too much.
No, I think the things you asked for made it a better tool. So I think it's a better tool. So these are all the colors we're going to look at today. And then for the Pyro Orange, Permanent Orange, CAD hue, all the way to, I think, Mayan Orange, Giovanni is going to show us some of his mixes.
Okay.
So let me show you this real quick.
John, I can see some merch coming. You have to create some merch for the C Lab.
Oh, yes?
Right?
Yes.
The tote bag with C Lab on it.
3D C Lab.
So if we wanted to look at, for example, the Pyro Orange, this will read the story of the Pyro Orange. You can actually print it out if you want, or save it as a PDF. You can save all these as PDFs. And then Giovanni does a lot of these. He does a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful job. And you can see Pyro Orange, for example, and then other ones that are similar. So you can say, well, I would have never thought about maybe red gold or organic vermilion, but maybe I like that one for what I'm trying to accomplish. Maybe that's another one I need to look at, then go back to C Lab and learn all about it if you want, or grab it to see where it fits in. So it's really kind of as deep in the rabbit hole as you want to go. And I know for a lot of good, you're very curious people. It's fun. It's good look. It's a fun learning experience because you can stop anytime you want, but there's just a lot if you want to learn that you can learn.
But I want the tube.
You want the tube?
Yeah. So I can play.
So, and then this is, and then you can learn the different pigments. You know how to give the steps, right?
Yeah. It's not like driving and parking or everything.
So why don't we look at a couple more and then we'll go to Giovanni. So this is Mayan Orange. So Mayan or hybrid pigment gives you a strong orange color. And there's the Mayan Orange.
Excuse me, John, another question I have is maybe it's possible that you chose 3 colors and you can show all mixtures, the mixes from the triad.
Yeah, that would, when you look at it, and there's it's a really good question. I don't know electronic,
That's a
how
game.
you,
So we are all playing, just playing.
yeah.
But there
So
are millions of triads,
there would be millions of combinations. And
millions of triads.
yeah,
Or
but let me think
when
about
you
that.
have when you have three colors, a triad, you can show 10 mixed colors from this tree.
So there's only two
That's
ways
the
to do that.
beginning.
One we
Just
would
the
have,
beginning.
one we would do the mix ourselves and then scan it in and bring it into the program. Because I think if they try to do it with the computer, it's never going to look the same. So the hard part would be just the infinite number of combinations. But what we can do is ask one of the brand ambassadors right now. They're doing combinations of colors. So I will post this one. Here we have last week's, so 1 January, and here we have this week, which is 11 January. I like this one right here. Maple red. So this is a great red with a slight bluish hue. Hey, why did that come up? Oh, look, I put the wrong link right here. Oh my gosh. I thought I was. So Giovanni's showing this one. This is permanent red deep, excellent blue shade red. There we go. So you can actually, you could go and you read all the stories. You could see if you wanted, you could do that. You can go do all the drawdowns, you could do that. You can go back and forth and just learn a huge amount. So we're gonna go to Giovanni and see his mixes. I did have two things I wanted to review with you because you asked last week. You asked about blossoms. And blossoms mean something different. They mean something very specific when it comes to oil colors. But in watercolors, you're talking about how when two colors come together, what makes them kind of do that blossom or broccoli. That's surface tension. It's a surface tension issue. And the stronger pigment will always push around the weaker pigment. And that's in general that will happen because you can modify that by how much water you put in. So you can, even though you might have A and A is stronger than B and will cause it to do this blooming thing, you can actually make A, the stronger one, weaker by adding a disproportionate amount of water. And that's the beautiful thing about watercolors. Really, you're in control on so many different levels. But your question was, what causes it? It's caused by surface tension. The other thing I wanted to quickly go over is there's three different types. There's watercolor, oil colors, and acrylics. Watercolors dry by evaporation. If you're in the tropics, there's so much moisture in the air that as you have evaporation and 3 water molecules leave, you have 3 that are waiting. And as soon as 3 leave the surface, 3 more go down and attach. And that's what causes that high humidity, causes a very slow evaporation. And then if you have oils are done by oxidation. So when paint is exposed to the air, goes through a chemical process called oxidation. And then acrylics go through polymerization. Polymerization means as the water leaves, the acrylic chains are left, and then those start to dry, which causes the drying process of acrylics. The interesting thing about that is we make watercolor ground, which is a modified acrylic for the use of watercolors. And really, that's why we ask you to let it cure 24 hours, because you really want the acrylic portion of the ground to fully cure. If you do it with a heat gun, you're not really allowing it to fully cure. You're an artist and you can do whatever you like to do. I mean, that's kind of the beautiful thing about being an artist. But as the product was developed, you should really allow it the time to cure by itself, which is about 24 hours. That also comes into play when you're using a blow dryer to speed up the process of drying the watercolor on your paper. Of course, you can do that, but just know that you're going to lose the extra smoothness that that watercolor may have had given the time to naturally dry. Okay. So, I mean, that's the part of, I think, being an artist is you're in control of so many things, and you should always, follow your own path. I'm just giving you information that you can use as you see fit. All right, so those are great questions. I want to make sure I answered those because you had asked them. I would like to go to Giovanni. And Giovanni, can you show us the first 7 colors?
Yeah, sure, John. Okay.
So Giovanni's going to do 7, then Sabine is going to be next. She's going to do hers, and then Gabriel will do follow-up. Thank you, Giovanni.
Okay.
I'm gonna release the screen share.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay, and Geo's come.
Okay. Okay, I started with this 7 color. I made this range, the chili peppers. I used this beautiful range of orange, John, but I used the rigor techniques for create the shadows from pyrrole orange to Mayan orange. I started with the pyrrole orange on the first row. Very, very soft. Apply the little zoom and continues with permanent orange.
Very cool.
Thank you. Line by line. This is all techniques in the restoration job. In Italy, it's called rigatino, rigor mode, and perfect for the range color. For example, when I use in this case, the first is pyrrole orange and the last is Mayan orange for creating a strong shadow. And Mayan orange directly is very, very strong shadow. But when I use all the range, is perfectly for a softer shadows.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Very nice, Giovanni.
Thank you. And
what do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think about the Mayan orange?
Mayan orange is very, very dark orange, but it's very, very strong. For example, for creating directly color, but I prefer to use Mayan orange, for example, for darkener. In this case, I use the cadmium and apply the mixes directly, and the Mayan orange for darkest. The color is perfect for this, for all the orange range. It's very interesting.
Fantastic.
Okay, thank you. And continues for the 4-color Perignon orange in the center. Before I starting, John, I apply the little boiled masking fluid. Very, very little. And the last is cadmium red scarlet.
I love your assistant.
Yeah. my third hand. I am never without this.
I know you, lucky guy.
And transparent pyrrole orange starting from the dark shadows. And apply in continuous line the organic vermilion for the warm and strong, and the last Mayan orange for very, very strong. And the shadow I applied before the neutral tint and little shade of organic vermilion. And restarting from the mixing with pyrrole orange. Close my white, all permanent orange. All this color is not granulating. Cadmium orange. Perinon. Cadmium red scarlet apply. In this case, for create a little shadow. Transparent. Pyrrole
All of
orange.
them are non-granulating. Only 2 have granulations.
Yeah. Organic vermilion. Okay. And I restart with Mayan orange in this case for create a little line on the top. And mixing transparent pyrrole orange and Mayan orange for more dark in the bottom. And mixing together cadmium orange and permanent orange in the shadows. I apply in this mode and with water. And continuous line by line, John, and close my chili peppers. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's very beautiful range orange.
So beautiful, Giovanni.
Thank you.
Yes.
Glows, Giovanni.
Thank you.
So next I want to really do Sabina.
Yes, for sure. I have 4 colors, and the first one is the Antra Scarlet, and it's non-granulated. And the second, it's the Pyrrole Scarlet, non-granulated. And the third one is the Pyrrole, the Perilane Scarlet. And the fourth one is the Quina Coral. And so I have mixed the first with the second, and the second with the third here. And I have mixed. This is wonderful. It's a very intensive red, and it's a very high red. I love this red. And so I have make a little card, and you see, you say it, it's with, this is dry up with a heater. And now you see it's not the softness when you let it dry. And I have make here the Antra Scarlet, the big way, the Perilane Scarlet, the Pyrrole Scarlet, and the Quina Coral. And then here is the Antra Scarlet, the Perilane Scarlet, the Pyrrole Scarlet, and Quina Coral. And so you have a little color card. And so
Very
I
nice.
think it's fantastic for roses. this red, and you can get the Peryland Scarlet is a very deep red, and you can go around and some edges, and you have it. And you can do it again, and again. It's such fascinating.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sabina. Thank you for sharing that. So that was
Thank you.
Sabina. And then next we have, I see Carrie's doing hers and Ashley. We're going to go to Gabriel.
Okay. All right. We have this aerial perspective of this farm, and what we're gonna do is paint these barns red. So the first red I'm gonna use is this cadmium red hue, and I've got it ready. So we're gonna get some over here on my brush, and let's paint these barns. These barns have a nice little red trim, so I don't need tons of chroma, but I just need it all in the right spots. And I like this color. I don't typically paint with this particular color. There's a color coming up that I use often, but I think I'm gonna start adding this one to my palette because it has a really nice buttery feel to it. So if you're used to oil painting and whatnot, it'll look quite lovely. That look of that you get with some oil painting. And let's finish up the back of this barn. And I'm not worried right now. This is kind of a foggy scene, so there's not really too much light and shadows. And so yeah, so no judgment here. So we'll finish up with that. The next color for our next little barn is one that I use often, and that's Pyro Red. And let's see what that looks like over here on this barn. And here we go with some Pyro Red, loading up my brush, and we'll paint this barn over here. And yeah, it's a nice red. Can you see the difference?
Yep.
And I'll zoom in here shortly too for some of you that want to see a closer view.
So that's
But there's definitely a difference in the two hues, and which is good because this one is getting possibly some different lighting, right? And just moving on over here to this part of the barn. And I like these reds. These reds, you can't really, they're a single pigment, the pyro red. And so I rely on not mixing this red. And but it plays really well with mixing with other colors. Yeah, so we got that barn. Our next color we've got is permanent red right there. And let's go ahead and do this little barn, the permanent red. And I don't use this color often, but again, I like doing these for you, John, because it gets me to pull out some of those other colors on Thursday to really get in here and see what's going on.
Demonstrating them.
Last year, one of my goals was to get to know everything and get up a little early, just play with mixes. And as life would have it, things change, right? And so sometimes we got to go back to the basics and play some more. So look at that. That's quite lovely. Our next color we have is quite gorgeous, and that is permanent red deep. And let's paint. Let's see, after that one, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I skip one? Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I did.
Yeah, I think you have 5.
The permanent red deep. Let's put it over here. This is the furthest one away. And John, were you paying attention? Which one did I skip?
You have Pyro Orange, Paraline Red, Permanent Red Deep, and Quinn Red. I don't see Quinn Red yet, though.
There's that one. And so, well, I have it put out here, so I know this is a different red. Somehow my tube has decided to jump down on the floor somewhere. We'll finish up this barn and we'll pass the mantle, and I'll do a real quick zoom so you can see a little bit closer. You know, painting like this doesn't need too much detail. Simple as more, friends. And yeah, just take a closer look. Dun-dun-dun. There we go.
Very nice.
There's our little farm.
Very
It's
nice.
a little greenier than what I'm seeing. But you can see the subtle differences in our different reds.
Thank you, Gabriel.
You bet.
Beautiful work, Gabriel.
Nice, Gabriel.
So now we're going to see.
Thank you, Gabriel.
We're going to see a group shot with Ashley, Stella, Angela, Carrie, Mark, and I think. Who else did we have? So there's Carrie.
There you go, John. I think Stella's top cam isn't ready for today.
Oh, Stella's holding her camera in her hand.
Okay, let me just add Stella.
I just played for a minute here.
There we go.
Oh,
So that is Angela. Yes,
Oh,
Angela.
There she is.
There we go.
Stella, you're holding the top camera, but the camera is not on. Just yeah.
Actually, you can just hold the painting toward the camera.
Anyway, I
see
can
it.
hold the painting.
Yeah.
There it is. I
Okay.
just played with few poppies, and
Yeah,
I used my favorite title orange and quinacridone red.
Very
for
nice.
the-
Very
for the
nice.
tool. Just played for a
Beautiful, Stella.
minute.
That's,
So pretty.
Stella, that's very nice.
Yeah, that's my favorite poppies. I love the reds and their temperature and range.
Awesome.
I
Very
use
nice.
a lot of reds.
Thank you, Stella. And thank you, Carrie. That's
Oh,
really
Carrie, that's nice, Carrie.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
I
you.
love how you do glass. Are those, Are those chickens
Carrie,
still?
did you just whiz that out? My God. My God, I give up.
No, I've been working on it, but it has most of these colors because I love most of the colors we're talking about right now. And bismuth vanadate is my favorite yellow for these kind of things because you can get these blooms with it because it's opaque. And the other thing that I love with the pyrrole orange, I love to glaze. So if you have, let's say over here, this red is pinkish. And if you glaze over it with the pyrrole orange, it pops it back to like a candy apple red.
Yeah.
And so I glaze a lot with that pyrrole orange. So I just love all of these colors.
Very nice.
Awesome, beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I have here a big play of reds.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, I love to play with the reds.
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Stella,
Beautiful.
that's such a
Beautiful.
storm. It's
It
a
does look like a storm.
firestorm in the sunset.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a very
Stormy
just
sky.
a play. That is what I like to play because science takes so much time in computer, so I just take the tube out and go to town.
Very
That's a
nice.
good idea.
And Ashley, you're doing your book. That's very nice.
Where's Ashley? Oh, there she is.
Ah,
Yeah, I'll show it to you guys when it's done.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Angela, is that Lunar Black?
Angela, that's nice.
That is lunar black and a mixture of underneath in the undertone there is permanent orange mixed with pyrrole crimson. I think it's pyrrole crimson. Very thick mixed here. And this is the yellow that Carrie has made me fall in love with, the bismuth vanadate. And on top of that, I wanted to see the effect of the lunar black.
The contrast with that, that's wonderful.
Very cool.
Because, because it will react here with the yellows. It reacts very well with the yellows.
What yellow is that again, Angela?
Bismuth vanadate. That's
Bismuth vanadate.
Carrie's favorite color.
Vanadate.
Here I did some more washes, but they are more still. Can you see? More calm.
Yeah.
And I use these 6 colors. This is in the middle. There is the permanent orange. And here at the bottom, Perinon orange. And here there is a light wash of pyrrole red. And then it was getting darker. Pyrrole crimson and anthraquinoid red were supposed to be the darkest. And blooms for you all, with unintentional. I have lots of blooms as I was passing my brush. I was passing my brush to wet the other page, and so I got some accidental blooms, which can become whatever. Clouds in this landscape. This could be a landscape, you see?
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
And Mark, how about you?
Yeah, I played with a few of the colors, and this is as a pigment nerd, this is my element. So I started with some transparent pyrrole orange, which is quite a new color to me, and I love it. It's a hot rod orange, I call it, and mixed it with some imperial purple.
Nice.
And they come together lovely. Well, all of them do. Alizarin crimson and cobalt blue. Lovely as well. Permanent red, which I actually picked up today, mixed with sodalite, genuine. And sodalite just makes everything wonderful.
Yeah.
And then the other one, which I also love, is organic vermilion. I use that quite a lot, again, for cars. It's a nice orange leading into red with green gold. And the way they mix is just, it's just so nice.
Very nice.
Thank you all for joining. Mark, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley and Angela and Carrie and Giovanni.
Yes, thank you all.
Thank you, John.
All of
Thank
you
you
for
all.
taking
John.
part.
Thank you,
Thank you, John.
Hope you enjoy tomorrow.
John, thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Bye-bye. Bye,
Bye,
Nick.
Stella.